Rabotai, there's a pasuk that says, "Lo tenasu et Hashem Elokechem." Can't test Hashem. We have to understand in life everything. Keshem shemarech al tova, kach mevarech al ra'a. Haz v'shalom. What does that mean? There's no bad. There's no bad in life. There's no such thing as bad. You know, now when in times of Mashiach, when it comes back, you know, there's bracha. Now we say Baruch Dayan Ha'emet if something bad happens, but in the time of this we say Baruch Hatov Ha'metiv. That there's no bad, there's only good and even better. You see, by very famously, Yosef, they have a very famous question. What's the question? Shochem mitzvah eno nizokin. When you're shliach for a mitzvah, you don't get damaged. They say ad kedei kach, they even bring it down that if you're going to visit your rabbi, I'm doing a mitzvah, I'm going to visit my rabbi. I'm flying he lives here, I'm flying here, flying there. Do you have to say tfilat haderech or not? Because what? One of the reasons why you say tfilat haderech is for shemirah. You automatically have shemirah because you're visiting your rabbi. Imagine that. Imagine that. There's another opinion that says no. You have to say tfilat haderech. You know why? Because tfilat haderech in itself is a bracha. When you travel, you say tfilat haderech. Nothing to do with shemirah. It has to do with what? Oh, you see? He has to do tfilat haderech, right? So he says, so if that's the case, you ready for the question? The question is, how did Yosef get sold? He was on the way to do a mitzvah. Shluchei mitzvah eno nizokin. Where do we see that? His father told him. How did the whole story of Yosef happen? His father told him, go check on your brothers, see where they are. They didn't see them in a while. So Yosef says, okay, I'm going to go visit, I'm going to go see my father, that's what he wants. I'm going to go see where he is. He went to go see where he is. And over there, the whole story of Yosef happened. But I thought, Shochem mitzvah and you don't get damaged. He was doing a mitzvah of kibud avayim because his father said, go check on the brothers. And when he goes to check on the brothers, before you know it, he gets to Egypt. He gets sold as a slave. How could it be? You know what the answer is? It wasn't a hezek. It wasn't a damage. It wasn't a damage. It was all for one purpose and one purpose only. It was to make him rise to the top. And that's why when they finally meet the brothers, they come and they meet. What does Yosef say? Yosef says again and again, listen, Hashem put me here in a position so I can sustain the world. That's the position that I'm in. So don't feel bad. And even when Yaakov Avinu passes away, they come back again. And Yosef says, Atem chashavtem, Allah, you thought it was because of that. Hashem understood it was all good. So therefore, a person, you have to understand that what? You're not allowed to test Hashem in that situation. In any situation, you have to understand, you have to believe that everything is the best thing that could ever happen. You know, I gave a mashal, I gave an example. At one time on the block, imagine, as an example, one time on the block, imagine right now, you have, you have a guy, he's a young kid. He's running in the street. And you see the car coming. And all of a sudden you grab him by the shirt. And as you're pulling him, you rip his entire shirt. His whole shirt, brand new shirt, gets ripped. And you pulled him to the sidewalk. And Baruch Hashem, he didn't get killed by the car. All of a sudden, what does the kid do? What are you doing? You're in my shirt. Pay for my shirt. What are you doing? This is a brand new shirt. What do you think this is? You just ripped my shirt like that? No, you're not understanding. You almost got hit by a car. What car? I didn't see no car. What car are you talking about? Now you're in my shirt. Pay me for my shirt. He wants him to pay for my shirt. Same thing. A lot of times Hashem does miracles to us, and we think, whoa. You're not understanding. That's the biggest miracle. What does it say? Oseh gedolot nisim levado. He says, when it speaks about the Nes, a lot of times it says that Hashem does miracles levado by himself. So obviously he does a Nes levado. Oseh gedolot levado. He does, of course he does it by himself. He says it by himself. Many times in your life, you don't see it. But Hashem knows that if if you would have went a little bit earlier out of the house, heaven forbid, a car accident could have happened. And Hashem saved you. He made a miracle for you. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. A person in his life, he has to really contemplate, really believe and know this is the best thing that could ever happen to you every time in any situation that you're ever in. You have to know that. You know why? Because when you do that, you build your something called Emunah muscle. Everything's muscles. You have tzedakah muscles, right? Tzedakah, sometimes a person can't give. So a guy can have money, somebody he can't pull it out. He has a lot of money, sometimes a person could give, but you have to build it. Like the Rambam says, the famous Rambam, if you have $100, you give to one person 100, or you give $1 to 100 people. What do you do?
$1 to 100 people.
$1 to 100 people. Why? Because of helping more people. But over here, if I help that one person, he doesn't say because of that. So if I help one person, I actually help him. You're helping $1. I can't even buy a bagel with cream cheese for $1. Or at least with this guy $100, he can buy him and his whole family dinner. I can't do nothing with $1. But you know what the Rambam says? You're building the muscle of tzedakah. He doesn't say muscle, but you're building tzedakah. You're building yourself to give more and more and more. And guess what? The next time you're going to give more. Because you're building it, always constantly building and building and building. And emunah is also one of the things, we say, have emunah shelema. Why emunah shelema? I say emunah. Because a lot of people have emunah. But do they have shelema? Do they have shelema? And when do you know if you really have emunah shelema? When things start shaking. When everything's going good, very good. This is happening and that's happening and this, great. But what happens when things start shaking? Ay. What happens now? You're going to say, Hashem, I love you? Or what?
Complain.
Or you're going to complain? What are you going to do?
I could have,
I should have, I wish I would have. If I would have. Everything's if I didn't do this and if I didn't do that. Yeah. That's what it is. It's this is the way it's supposed to be. And guess what? The more emunah shelema you have, you're living in this world the best life ever. Because you'll never get down and you'll never get depressed. You'll never be thinking negative. You'll always be thinking positive. Your blood pressure will always stay the same. The blood pressure doesn't go up. The sugar level stays. You're healthy. Right? And you know what the best part of all this is? Like the Chavod Levot says, Abal Bitachon in Hashem gets also Olam Haba. He gets this world and the next world. Not only that, it says Vidui on Yom Kippur. You know the Sfaradim, I don't know what the Ashkenazim have, but the Sfaradim have on Yom Kippur a Vidui that we didn't trust Hashem bechol alev with all our heart. You have that Vidui in the Ashkenazim? Sfaradim we have it. Lo bitachnu belev shalem. We didn't have bitachon with our whole heart. You hear what's going on? Because you have to have bitachon with your heart. No matter what, this is the best. It happened to me. You know what happened to me? I'll tell you a story. What happened to me. And it got me triggered a little bit, but I have to be thankful. I'll tell you what happened. There was a fellow across the street from me. He did an extension, something crazy. Dig the basement, all the way out. Nothing happened to him. I said, well, if he could do it, let me do a little bit. Started doing a little bit. All of a sudden, Makara, the building department came. They closed the house. This is happening now, by the way. Close the house. Stop work order. Whoa. Just a little bit, nothing crazy. A little bit. When I do a little bit, this, no, you didn't do it with permits. The other guy, so I say, whoa. Sometimes you get frustrated. No. Min hashamayim, hakol tova. This is the best thing. And this is Rabotai. When you live a life like this, you live a life emunah bitachon your entire life. You'll see you feel good in this world, and also the next world you'll get a lot. There's a guy in the shul over here. I can tell his name off the camera. There's a guy over here. He tells me his story once a week. Once a week he tells me his story. I said, what's his story? He says how HaKadosh Baruch Hu helps him with his parnasah like you can't even imagine. And I say, are you worried? Are you nervous? Are you this? So I'm not nervous. Not accused. A fellow that came here last night. Were you here last night or no? Yeah. I'm not. You know that fellow who came last night? Yeah. Right? So this is what he tells me. He tells me, he said when he had his, he came to me when he had his third child. I said, Rabbi, you understand, it's so hard. Da, 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 da. I said, so-and-so, don't worry. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is big. You have nothing to worry about. 3 months later, like 4 months later, I said, Rabbi, you're not going to understand. My wife's pregnant again. Oh my goodness, what did I do? I said, I told him, you're going to have the baby? And his wife said, we're going to have the baby. We're very excited. And he told me, he swore to me, we're going 3 years later, he swore to me, from the day that the baby was born, the new one, the other one, he said he got so much mazal and so much beracha that in the hospital, when he gave birth to the baby, he got a phone call for one of the biggest business deals he has in his life. He just bought a house. Right now, he just told me within 3 years I was able to do this. I'm able to, Rabbi, give me I bought a house. You know, people say, oh, another baby brings you mazal. You don't know. Imagine, one guy came to me and said, Rabbi, no, that baby, have more babies. Because you never know which baby is going to give you the biggest beracha in the world. And then all of a sudden the baby comes, he comes with his mazel. Daddy, mommy, I got you a package. What's the package? I got you my mazel. My mazel is big. And all of a sudden, boom, 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 shefa, bracha, boom, boom, boom. You think you know where your mazel's coming from? There was one time, it's brought down in the Gemara. The Gemara says, the Baba Batra says, not only that, if you have partners, you're in business for a long time with a person, there's not that partners. Now the guy says, you know what? I want to split. Should you split so fast? You need Sheilat Chacham. Should you split so fast? Because could be both the mazel together brought the bracha. So how are you going to do that?
And you can take him to Bedin and say, I don't want to split.
Yeah, you can take the Bedin and say, I don't want to split. Why? Because the mazel. We started with it. Our 2 lucks made the whole company happen. So therefore, Rabotai, you have to understand something. With this, you don't know Sech Hashbon Shamayim. You have to have Emunah Bitachon. You don't know what, you don't know when, you don't know how. But the bottom line is one thing's for sure. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Keshem Shemarech Ala'ah, Kach Mevarech Al Tovah. You have to make sure you have that confidence and know. And you know what the biggest, I'm going to end up with this. I know you're in rush. Give me end up with this. Mehillah, Joey. Bezrat Hashem, you can have a lot of panasa today. Text me today how much fun he made today. Like this. I'm serious. Remember last time we got the beracha, you got it? Yeah? So you can hear again Bezrat Hashem today. Yeah, Bezrat Hashem. Today especially because he stayed extra. I'll tell you like this. How do you have Emunah Bitachon? How? What's the secret? So I'll tell you 2 quick ones. Chazon Ish used to say, I heard this from Yoel Goodman, Chazon Ish, the Hashem the Chazon Ish. He said, here's an example. Before you walk into a shoe store, you dive into Hashem, you pray to Hashem, Hashem, please let me have the right shoe. You walk out, whether you found the right shoe, you didn't find the right shoe, you say, thank you Hashem. It's a concept of life. You do something, you pray before you do it, and no matter the outcome is it, thank you Hashem. That's Chazon Ish. The second thing I want to tell you from Yehuda Adis. Yehuda Adis used to tell us, what's the biggest advice? To know that Hashem loves you more than you love yourself. Tati loves you more than you love yourself. So you love yourself. You want this, you want to forget yourself, you want to have hadid, have a great life, everything like that. But Hashem loves you more than what you love yourself. So therefore you can rest assured, since He loves you more, He wants more, better for you than you want for yourself. He wants better for you. So therefore that's, I know you love me more, Hashem. I know everything is good. I know whatever's happening is the best. Because you love me more than I love my own self.